Don't translate, just listen.
Hello, and welcome to Speak English Anywhere. Today, we're going to do something a little different. For the next 30 minutes, I want you to do one simple thing. Don't translate, just listen. You don't need to understand every single word. You don't need to stop and look up vocabulary. And you don't need to translate every sentence in your head. Just listen. Listen to the meaning. Listen to the situation. Listen to the speaker's voice. Try to understand the general idea. Because when we learn English, we often make one mistake. We hear an English sentence, then we translate it into our first language. Then we think about the meaning. Then we translate our answer back into English. This takes time, and it can make speaking and listening feel difficult. Today, we're going to practice a different way. You will hear simple English about everyday topics. The stories will be clear and natural. You don't need to understand everything. If you miss a word, keep listening. If you miss a sentence, don't worry. The next sentence may help you understand the meaning. So relax, take a breath, and remember, don't translate, just listen. Let's begin.
Part 1. A normal morning. Let me tell you about a normal morning. I usually wake up around 7 o'clock. When I open my eyes, I don't get out of bed immediately. I usually stay there for a few minutes. I look outside the window. Sometimes the weather is sunny. Sometimes it's cloudy. And sometimes I can hear the rain. I really like rainy mornings. They feel quiet and peaceful. After a few minutes, I get out of bed. I open the curtains and let some light into the room. Then I go to the bathroom and wash my face. After that, I make breakfast. My breakfast is usually simple. Sometimes I have eggs and toast. Sometimes I have fruit and yogurt. And sometimes I just have a cup of coffee because I'm not very hungry in the morning. While I eat, I usually check my messages. I don't like spending too much time on my phone in the morning, but sometimes I get distracted. I look at one message, then I check another one. Then I look at social media, and suddenly 20 minutes have passed. So recently, I've been trying to change that habit. I put my phone down while I eat. Instead, I listen to music or simply enjoy my breakfast. After breakfast, I get ready for the day. I check my schedule. I think about the things I need to do. Some days are busy, other days are quiet, but I try not to think about everything at once. I just focus on the first thing I need to do, and then I move to the next one. I think that's a good way to start the day. You don't have to do everything at the same time. Just take one step, then another, and another. Part 2. A busy day. Some days are very busy. You wake up in the morning and already have many things to do. You have work. You have messages to answer. You have people to talk to. You have places to go. And sometimes you don't even have time to think. I had a day like that recently. I woke up late. I didn't have time for a proper breakfast. I quickly got dressed and left home. When I arrived at work, I already had several messages waiting for me. I answered one message, then another. Then someone asked me for help. After that, I had a meeting. The meeting took longer than expected. When it finished, it was already lunchtime. I was hungry, but I didn't have much time, so I ate quickly and went back to work. The afternoon was even busier. I had several things to finish before the end of the day. At around 5 o'clock, I finally finished my last task. I looked at the clock and felt tired, but I also felt happy, not because the day was easy. It wasn't. I felt happy because I had finished everything I needed to do. On my way home, I stopped at a small shop. I bought some fruit and a bottle of water. Then I went home. I changed my clothes. I took a shower, and I sat down on the sofa. For the first time that day, I felt completely relaxed. Sometimes we don't realize how tired we are until we finally stop. That's why rest is important. Even when life is busy, we need a little time to slow down. Part 3. A small act of kindness.
Last week, I saw something that made me think about kindness. I was walking down the street when I saw an older man standing near a bus stop. He looked confused. He was holding a small piece of paper. He looked at the buses and then looked at the paper again. I thought maybe he was trying to find the right bus, so I walked over and asked if he needed help. He showed me the address on the paper. I knew the area. I told him which bus he needed. Then I helped him find the right bus stop. He thanked me several times, but honestly, I didn't do much. It only took a few minutes. After he left, I continued walking, but I kept thinking about this situation. Sometimes we think kindness needs to be something big. We think we need to give a lot of money or do something special. But kindness can be very small. You can hold a door open. You can help someone carry a bag. You can listen to someone who is having a bad day. You can smile at someone. You can say thank you. You can ask someone if they are okay. These things may seem small, but they can make someone's day better. And sometimes helping another person makes us feel better too. So if you have an opportunity to be kind today, take it. You don't need a big reason. A small act can be enough.
Part 4. Learning something new. Learning something new can be exciting, but it can also be frustrating. When you start something for the first time, you usually don't know what you're doing. You make mistakes, you forget things, you may feel slow. Sometimes you may even think about giving up. I remember when I started learning a new skill. At first, everything seemed difficult. I watched other people doing it easily. They looked confident. They knew exactly what to do. I looked at myself and thought, why can't I do that? But then I realized something. I was comparing my beginning with someone else's experience. They had already practiced for years. I had just started. So I stopped comparing. Instead, I focused on small improvements. One day, I learned one new thing. The next day, I learned another. After a few weeks, I could do things that seemed impossible at the beginning. That's how learning works. You don't become good overnight. You become good through small steps. This is also true when learning English. You may not understand everything today. That's okay. Maybe you understand a little more tomorrow, then a little more next week. Eventually, things that once sounded difficult become normal. So don't worry if you're not perfect. You're learning, and learning takes time. Part 5. A friendly conversation. Imagine that you're meeting an old friend. You haven't seen each other for a long time. You sit down at a small cafe. Your friend smiles and says, "It's so good to see you again." You smile and say, "It's good to see you too." Your friend asks, "How have you been?" You say, "I've been pretty good. I've been busy with work, but I'm doing well." Your friend asks, "Are you still living in the same place?" You say, "Yes, I am. I still live near the city center." Then you ask, "How about you?" Your friend tells you about their new job. They say they've been working there for 6 months. They like the people, but the job is sometimes stressful. You listen. Then you ask, "Do you like your new job?" Your friend says, "Yes, I do. It's challenging, but I'm learning a lot." You talk about work. Then you talk about your families. You talk about your hobbies. You talk about a trip you both took several years ago. You laugh about an old memory. Before you leave, your friend says, "We should do this again soon." You agree. "Definitely. Let's meet again next week." You say goodbye. And you walk home feeling happy. It wasn't a complicated conversation. You didn't use difficult English. You simply talked about your lives. That's what real communication is often like. Simple, natural, and meaningful. Part 6. When things don't go as planned. Sometimes things don't go the way we expect. You make a plan, you feel excited, and then something changes. Maybe your flight is delayed. Maybe your meeting is canceled. Maybe the weather changes. Maybe your friend can't come. At first, you may feel disappointed. That's normal. But sometimes changing your plan can lead to something good. Imagine that you planned to go outside. You wanted to spend the afternoon at the beach. But when you wake up, it's raining heavily.
You feel disappointed. You look outside and think, well, I guess I can't go. Then you decide to stay home. You make some coffee, you watch a movie. Later, you cook something nice for dinner. You call an old friend. You spend a quiet evening at home. And suddenly you realize that the day wasn't so bad. It wasn't the day you planned, but it was still a good day. I think that's an important lesson. We can't control everything. Sometimes our plans change. Sometimes things go wrong. But we can control how we respond. We can complain all day, or we can try to find something good in the new situation. Life doesn't always follow our plans, and that's okay.
Part 7. Social media. Social media is a big part of modern life. We use it to communicate. We share photos, we watch videos, we follow people we like, we learn new things, and sometimes we simply scroll because we're bored. But social media can also affect how we feel. When we look at other people's lives online, we usually see their best moments. We see beautiful vacations, successful careers, happy relationships, new houses, new cars, nice clothes, beautiful food. Everything looks perfect. But we don't see the whole story. We don't see the difficult days. We don't see the arguments. We don't see the stress. We don't see the mistakes. We see a small part of someone's life. And sometimes we compare that small part with our whole life. That's not fair. Your life doesn't have to look like someone else's social media page. You don't need to travel as much as they do. You don't need to have the same clothes. You don't need the same job. You don't need the same lifestyle. Everyone has a different life. Social media can be useful, but we should remember that it's only a window. It's not the whole world. Sometimes the best thing you can do is put your phone down. Look around you. Talk to someone. Go outside. Enjoy your real life. Part 8. A quiet evening. After a long day, I really enjoy quiet evenings. I don't always want to go somewhere. Sometimes I just want to stay home. I make dinner, I clean the kitchen, then I take a shower and put on comfortable clothes. After that, I sit somewhere quiet. Sometimes I read, sometimes I watch a movie, sometimes I listen to music, and sometimes I do absolutely nothing. I think doing nothing is underrated. We are always trying to be productive. We want to learn something. We want to work. We want to exercise. We want to improve ourselves. These things are good, but we also need rest. Our minds need a break. We don't have to be productive every minute. Sometimes sitting quietly for 10 minutes is enough. Sometimes listening to music is enough. Sometimes looking out the window is enough. A quiet evening can help us slow down. And when we slow down, we can notice things we usually miss. The sound of rain, the wind outside, a cup of warm tea, the lights in the street, a quiet room. These simple things can make life feel peaceful. Part 9. Dreams for the future. Everyone has dreams. Some dreams are big, some are small. Maybe you want to travel around the world. Maybe you want to buy a house. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you want to learn another language. Maybe you simply want a peaceful life with your family. There is no right or wrong dream. Your dream belongs to you. Sometimes we are afraid to talk about our dreams because they seem too difficult. We think, what if I fail? What if I can't do it? What if people laugh at me? But dreams don't have to happen immediately. You can take your time. You can start with one small step. If you want to learn English, you don't need to become fluent tomorrow. You can learn a few words today. You can listen to English for 10 minutes. You can read a short story. You can speak for 5 minutes. Then tomorrow, you can do that again. Small actions can take you toward big goals. So don't worry about how far away your dream is. Think about your next step. What can you do today? That's enough. Part 10. English learning. And now, let's talk about you. You're listening to this because you want to improve your English. Maybe English is difficult for you sometimes. Maybe you forget vocabulary. Maybe you don't understand fast English. Maybe speaking makes you nervous. That's okay. You don't have to understand everything in this video. If you understand 70%, that's okay. If you understand 50%, that's okay too. Don't stop listening just because you don't understand one sentence. Keep going. Sometimes you can understand the meaning from the words around it. Sometimes you understand from the situation. Sometimes you understand from the speaker's tone. This is how listening skills develop. And remember what we're practicing today. Don't translate, just listen. You don't need to understand every single word. Try to understand the message. Imagine the situation. Create pictures in your mind. When I talk about a rainy morning, imagine the rain. When I talk about a cafe, imagine sitting at a table. When I talk about a busy day, imagine people working and moving around. This can help you connect English directly with meaning. You don't always need your first language in the middle. At first, it may feel difficult, but with practice, it becomes easier. Part 11. Don't give up. There may be days when you feel like your English isn't improving. You study, you listen, you practice, but you still make mistakes. You still forget words. You still don't understand everything. Don't give up. Language learning takes time. You may not notice your progress every day, but that doesn't mean you're not improving. Think about a plant. You water it, you give it sunlight, but you don't see it growing every hour. You may not notice a difference today, but after a few weeks, you can see it. Learning a language is similar. Every time you listen, your brain is learning. Every time you read, your brain is learning. Every time you speak, your brain is learning. Even when you make mistakes, you're learning. So keep going. One day, you'll understand a sentence that used to sound impossible. You'll understand a conversation without translating. You'll answer a question without thinking too much, and you'll realize, wow, I'm actually improving. That moment is worth all the practice. Part 12. The power of a small routine. I think small routines can make our lives much easier. We don't always need a big plan. Sometimes we just need a few simple things that we do every day. For example, you might wake up at the same time every morning. You might drink a glass of water. You might spend 10 minutes reading. You might take a short walk in the evening. These things may not seem important, but when you do them regularly, they become part of your life. A routine can also help us when we feel stressed. When everything around us feels busy, a familiar routine can give us a feeling of control. We know what we're going to do next. We don't have to make too many decisions. For example, imagine coming home after a difficult day. You're tired. You don't want to think about work anymore. So you take a shower. You make a cup of tea. You put your phone away. Then you sit somewhere quiet for a few minutes. You do these things almost every evening. After some time, your brain starts to understand that this is your time to relax. It becomes a small signal that the busy part of the day is over. Of course, routines don't have to be perfect. Some days won't go according to plan. You might wake up late. You might have too much work. You might feel tired. That's okay. A routine is not a prison. It's simply a guide. You can change it when you need to. The important thing is consistency. Small actions repeated many times can create big changes. This is true for exercise. It's true for reading. It's true for learning English. And it's true for almost everything we want to improve. You don't need to do something for 3 hours every day. Sometimes 10 or 15 minutes is enough. The important thing is to keep going. Part 13. A day without my phone. Have you ever wondered how much time you spend looking at your phone? I sometimes ask myself that question. Our phones are useful. We use them for work. We use them to talk to our friends and family. We use them to find information. We use them to listen to music.
But sometimes we use them without even thinking. We pick up the phone because we're bored. We check one message, then we open an app, then we watch a short video, then another one. And suddenly 30 minutes have passed. One day, I decided to spend an afternoon without my phone. At first, it felt strange. I kept thinking that I was forgetting something. I wanted to check my messages. I wanted to see what was happening online. But after a while, I stopped thinking about it. I went for a walk. I noticed the trees along the street. I noticed the people around me. I stopped at a small cafe. I sat down and watched people walking past. It was surprisingly relaxing. Without my phone, I felt like I had more time. I wasn't constantly receiving information. I wasn't thinking about what other people were doing. I was simply there. Of course, I don't think we need to stop using our phones completely. Phones are a useful part of modern life. But sometimes it's good to take a break. We don't always need to know what's happening. We don't always need to answer immediately. Sometimes we need a little quiet. And sometimes the best way to enjoy the present moment is to put the phone away.
Part 14, a lesson from failure. Nobody likes failure. When we try something and it doesn't work, we can feel disappointed. Sometimes we feel embarrassed. Sometimes we think we should have done better. But failure can teach us something that success cannot. Imagine someone starting a small business. At first, everything looks exciting. They have a good idea. They work hard. They expect people to love their product. But after a few months, things don't go well. They don't get enough customers. They lose money. Eventually, they have to close the business. That sounds like a terrible experience, and it probably is. But imagine that person learns from it. Maybe they discover that their original idea wasn't right. Maybe they learn how to manage money better. Maybe they learn how to communicate with customers. Maybe they learn what they should do differently next time. The failure becomes experience, and experience can become wisdom. The same thing happens when learning English. Maybe you have a conversation and make many mistakes. Maybe you forget simple words. Maybe you feel embarrassed afterward. But instead of thinking, "I'm terrible at English," you can think about what happened. What words did you forget? What sentences were difficult? What did you want to say but couldn't? Those moments show you what you need to learn next. Failure isn't always the opposite of success. Sometimes failure is part of the road to success.
Part 15, the importance of friendship. Good friends can make life much better. A good friend doesn't have to agree with you all the time. They don't have to be exactly like you. In fact, sometimes it's good when friends are different. You may have different interests, different personalities, different opinions, but you can still understand and respect each other. A good friend is someone you can talk to when life is difficult. You don't always need advice. Sometimes you just need someone who listens. Imagine having a difficult day at work. You come home feeling tired and frustrated. You call your friend. You tell them what happened. They don't try to solve everything. They simply listen. Then they say, "That sounds really difficult." Those simple words can make you feel better. Friendship isn't always about doing exciting things together. Sometimes it's about being there. A message, a phone call, a cup of coffee, a short conversation. These small moments can become important memories. Of course, friendships can also be difficult. People misunderstand each other. People change. Sometimes friends grow apart. That's part of life too. But when you find someone who truly cares about you, appreciate them. Don't assume they'll always be there. Tell them you appreciate them. Make time for them. Listen to them. Good friendships need attention too.
Part 16, a trip to a new place. Traveling to a new place can be exciting, but it can also feel a little scary. You don't know the streets, you don't know the local people, you may not understand the language, and you may not know exactly what to expect. Imagine arriving in a city you've never visited before. You leave the airport with your suitcase, You look around. Everything feels new. The signs look different. The streets are unfamiliar. You check your map and start walking. At first, you feel a little nervous. Then you find your hotel. You check in. You leave your suitcase in the room. And finally, you go outside. You walk through the city. You see small shops. You see restaurants. You hear people talking. You smell food you've never tried before. Everything feels interesting. You stop at a small restaurant. You look at the menu. You don't recognize some of the dishes, so you choose something that looks good. You sit down. A few minutes later, your food arrives. You take the first bite. It's completely different from what you expected. Maybe you love it, maybe you don't. But either way, you've experienced something new. That's one of the best things about travel. You don't know exactly what will happen, and that's part of the adventure. Sometimes the best memories come from unexpected moments.
Part 17. When you feel lost. There are times in life when we don't know what we're doing. Maybe you're not happy with your job. Maybe you don't know what you want to study. Maybe you don't know where you want to live. Maybe everyone around you seems to have a clear plan while you feel completely lost. If you've ever felt this way, you're not alone. Life doesn't come with a map. We don't always know what the next 5 years will look like. And that's okay. Sometimes we think we need to have everything planned. We think we should know exactly where we're going. But life can change. Your interests can change. Your goals can change. You can discover something new. You can meet someone who changes your life. You can find an opportunity you never expected. So it's okay if your plan changes. It's okay if you don't know the answer yet. Instead of asking, "Where will I be in 10 years?" maybe ask, "What can I do today?" Maybe today you can learn something. Maybe you can apply for a job. Maybe you can talk to someone. Maybe you can read a book. Maybe you can simply rest. You don't need to know the entire journey. Sometimes you only need to know the next step. Part 18. The value of patience. We live in a world where we want everything quickly. We want fast internet, fast food, fast results. We want to learn a new skill quickly. We want to become fluent quickly. But some things cannot be rushed. Learning a language takes time. Building a career takes time. Building strong relationships takes time. Becoming confident takes time. Sometimes we become frustrated because we don't see results immediately. We study English for a month, but we still make mistakes. We exercise for 2 weeks, but we don't see a big change. We work hard for a while, but our career doesn't change immediately. It can be frustrating, but progress is not always visible. Sometimes you're improving without realizing it. Maybe you understand more than before. Maybe you can speak for longer. Maybe you recover from mistakes faster. These are signs of progress. So be patient with yourself. You don't need to become a completely different person tomorrow. Just become a little better over time. One small improvement today, another tomorrow, another next week. Eventually, those small improvements become something much bigger. Good things often take time. Part 19. Enjoying simple things. Sometimes we spend so much time thinking about the future that we forget to enjoy the present. We're always thinking about the next goal, the next job, the next trip, the next house, the next achievement. Goals are important, but life is also happening right now. Maybe you're having breakfast with your family. Maybe you're walking home after work. Maybe you're drinking tea while listening to music. Maybe you're sitting near a window while it rains. These moments may seem ordinary, but ordinary moments make up most of our lives. We don't spend every day on a beautiful vacation. We don't achieve something amazing every morning. Most of life is simple, and that's okay. There is beauty in simple things. A warm meal after a long day. A message from someone you love.
a funny conversation with a friend, a comfortable bed, a quiet morning, a good cup of coffee, a beautiful sunset. We don't always need something big to be happy. Sometimes we just need to notice what is already around us. So today, try to slow down. Look around. Notice the small things. You may discover that your life already has more good moments than you realize.
Part 20. Keep going. We've talked about many different things today. Daily routines, busy days, kindness, learning, friendship, travel, failure, phones, dreams, patience, and simple moments in life. But there is one idea that connects all of them. Keep going. Life isn't always easy. Some days are wonderful. Some days are difficult. Sometimes things go according to plan. Sometimes everything changes. Sometimes we feel confident. Sometimes we feel lost. That's normal. You don't need to have a perfect life. You don't need to know all the answers. You don't need to be successful every day. You just need to keep moving. If you're learning English, keep listening, even when you don't understand everything. If you're trying to speak, keep speaking, even when you make mistakes. If you're working toward a goal, keep taking small steps, even when progress feels slow. And if you have a difficult day, give yourself some time. Rest, breathe, start again tomorrow. You don't have to do everything today. You don't have to become perfect. You just have to continue. And maybe after some time, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. You'll remember the days when English sounded difficult. You'll remember when you were afraid to speak. You'll remember when you translated every sentence in your head. And you'll realize that things have changed. You understand more. You speak more. You listen more easily. You feel more comfortable. That progress may happen slowly, but it is happening. So keep going, keep listening, keep learning, and keep believing that you can improve. And that's the end of today's Don't Translate, Just Listen episode. I hope you enjoyed listening to these stories. And remember, you don't have to understand every word. You don't have to translate everything. Just listen. Let the English flow. Try to understand the meaning. Imagine the situations, and allow your brain to become familiar with English naturally. The more you listen, the more comfortable English will feel. So come back again tomorrow. Listen to another story. Learn a little more, and keep moving forward. Thank you for listening to Speak English Anywhere. Take care of yourself. Keep learning, keep listening, and remember, don't translate, just listen.